Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be continuing my video series going through this respect thread for Zatanna. Last episode, I went through the respect thread for Zatanna for her post-crisis feats. Now I'm going to be looking at her new 52 feats. I'm not going to be looking at the images for each and every one of these feats. I'm just going to be reading them off. But if any of them happen to stand out to me, then I'll definitely make sure to look at the image. Now, last episode, we saw some crazy post-crisis feats. Zatanna apparently is able to, freeze time, send enemies through time. She has spells that she can cast on, a universal scale. Pretty much anything that she says backwards just becomes a reality. She's able to cast spells faster than a speeding bullet from a machine gun. That's all post-crisis stuff, which, by the way, after Dark Knight's death metal, pretty much everything's canon, so Zatanna should be still capable of all that stuff that she did in post-crisis. But now we're going to take a look at her new 52 feats. I wonder if they'll even compare to some of the craziness that we saw in post-crisis, or if she somehow even goes beyond what we saw before. So without further ado, let's hop into this respect thread. New 52! In this continuity, Zatanna was still the daughter of famed magician Giovanni John Zatanna. This time, he was killed by one of Constantine's schemes. She was once in a relationship with the powerful mage Nick Necros, or is it Nick Necros? Something like that, in New York City. John Constantine came to the city to study under Nick, who became obsessed with the search for the books of magic. As a result of his obsession, John and Zatanna were alienated from him and fell in love with each other. Nick felt betrayed and tried to have them both killed by the cult of the Cold Flame. Fortunately, they turned the tables and his soul was sent to hell. She eventually becomes part of both Justice League Dark and the regular Justice League. Magic. She still uses spells by speaking backwards. So she teleports onto stage, basic, puts on a jacket, basic. BFR's a cult of the Cold Flame guy. Sounds basic. BFR, for those who don't know, is battlefield removal. I mean, post-crisis, Zatanna is teleporting people to other dimensions, teleporting people through time. So I'm curious if this BFR is significant in any way. Let's see. Shut up and go away. So when she BFRs him, it's very vague. Okay. We have no idea where he was sent. It's interesting that she doesn't really have to specify. But that was another one of her feats from post-crisis, is that she can do vague spells, and that's another example of a vague spell. She's not being super specific, but clearly things are happening. She binds Batman in place. I think we actually saw her freeze someone in place in post-crisis. We also see her freeze time, which is better than binding someone in place. I mean, depending on what you're trying to do. Can close herself down to protect her mind. Okay, what does that mean? I actually don't. What do you mean close herself down to protect her mind? There was a dark cloud, a tornado of blackness that swamped me. I closed my body down to protect myself, but I couldn't climb out again until... Okay. So she can shut herself down to try and prevent herself from being under someone else's influence. That's an interesting defense, but it sounds like a not very good defense. It sounds like once she activates it, she can't easily reactivate her body. So it's like if someone said, "Aha, Zatanna, now I will take control of your mind and use your power to rule the universe." And then Zatanna shuts her body down. And then it's oh, well, now I can't take over Zatanna. But it's not like Zatanna can do anything while her body's shut down, because it doesn't seem like she can reactivate herself. So, womp womp. Almost like an anti-feat. Don't know why she would ever do that. Womp. Especially when you could just leave or something. Teleports herself while being clawed on by Enchantress's minions. Now that's cool. So this would be a feat of Zatanna, while actively taking damage, while being swamped by people, using her magic. So even if an enemy like gets to Zatanna and starts actively attacking her, this is like a swarm of enemies. As long as she's still able to speak, she can still get out. Like she can still like use her abilities. She could have potentially said freeze time while she was being swarmed by enemies, froze them all in time, and then escaped. Let's see, knocks Constantine down, whatever. Turns a vampire into a pool of blood before her magic becomes ineffective. What? Let's see, backwards enchantment to impose my will on reality. What a way to describe her power, that she imposes her will on reality. Let's see, vampires. No, you vampires. Yes, you two. Be gone. And then they just melt into a puddle of blood. Yo! Turning someone into a puddle of blood is pretty cool. Because before I was really hype about her turning people to stone in post-crisis, a puddle of blood, I don't know if that's better or worse than stone, actually, because you might be like a mutant that has some kind of regenerative power, and you can regenerate from like a drop of blood. Like Lobo, I believe, can regenerate just from blood. So turning him into a puddle of blood actually would be worse than just turning him to stone or something. So I don't know, being a puddle of blood might be worse. I'm not a fan. Turns the team invisible, creates a stone prison, magic umbrella, very vague feat. Let's figure out what the hell magic umbrella is supposed to be. Oh, literally like a normal umbrella but made of magic. I didn't know what to expect. Disguised as Constantine as Black Orchid. Okay. Opens a chest. Sure. Protection spell blocks a powered up Faust and the Demons 3. That's pretty good. Like that sounds like a good feat. So she's being attacked by like multiple people at once, and her shield is able to block all of them. I mean, that panel doesn't show you too much. So I don't know. Like, it doesn't show, like, repeated hits or anything like that. Makes a portal, whatever. Freezes a giant in place, okay. Makes another disappear. Yeah, we know she can BFR. Can strengthen her blast by saying so. That sounds kind of cool. Let's look at that one. Let's see. So she said, weird guy, go away. Oh, wait, what? Is he able to negate it? So he's, hold up. I will not let you infect me with your incantations and lies. Surrender now. So then she says, weird guy, go away. But it doesn't actually, like, take him out. This is the first time I've seen someone just brute force resist the power. But then she says, spell be stronger. Like she can, that's interesting. So she can amp it. So post-crisis Zatanna cast a spell that's like awaken the universe, and it's a universe level spell. And she did that without saying like spell be stronger to like enhance it. If she can just enhance an existing spell, then doesn't that mean that if she was universal before, that she's like universal plus now? Because she can say spell be stronger and now it's even more powerful than it was before? If so, hey, that's pretty good. I like the concept of her having a built-in self-amp. I've never heard of her doing that before. So that's a cool feat. I like that. Makes a whole army hidden and then makes an army of decoys. That sounds cool. Protects against a laser beam, teleports away before they can be caught. Hold on. Makes a whole army of decoys. Let's see. Create an army of illusion decoys. It's literally just an army of decoys. Okay, cool. Do. Removes everyone away from Pandora's box. Who is everyone? Oh, shit. When she's removing everyone away from Pandora's box, we're seeing some heavy hitters get affected. Wonder Woman, Frankenstein, Aquaman, Hawkman, Black Orchid. It's interesting that Hawkman was affected. So Hawkman has this special metal called Nth Metal, and Nth Metal actually is able to negate magic. So one of the interesting properties of Nth Metal is Nth Metal can be like magic, not today, on a diet, no magic. So the fact that Hawkman was pushed away from the box seems interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. Like the concept of him being affected. If anything, because of his Nth Metal, I would have imagined that he wouldn't have been affected. So I don't know what that means. Like, is this a feat that you can point to where it's like, even against someone who has like protection from magic, like some kind of magic negation, she can still kind of like push through against? Because if she's able to like send Hawkman away, right? Being like, hey, get away from Pandora's box or whatever. Even if Hawkman were to resist, like that guy that we saw resist earlier, it seems like she can just be like, make the spell stronger or whatever, and then zoom, like now it's really like knocking you back. But it is interesting to see her affect Hawkman. I mean, Hawkman isn't like covered from head to toe in Nth Metal. He's not like made of Nth Metal. So I guess it's fair that like she can like knock him back like that. Yeah, that sounds fine, I guess. Let's see. Creates a protection against the box's corruption. I don't know how strong the corruption of Pandora's box is to be able to like really make a feat. Let's see. Protect we there from the box. Oh, protect we three from the box. Okay, but how strong is the box? Pandora's right. Shazam's magic is having some sort of reaction to the boxes. They're feeding off each other, spreading like a virus. Let's see. I think I can cast a protective spell around us with my backwards magic, but I don't know how long it will hold out. Okay? So it like protects them from being corrupted by the box, but she doesn't know how long it'll last. It's interesting that she's like, I don't know how long it'll last. I don't know what determines when she's on the fence about that and when she's not on the fence about that. Chains Up Aquaman is like a pretty good feat. If it actually like holds. Like she put chains on him, I'm not sure. Like does he just break through the chain? You know. Putting chains on him doesn't seem to imply that the chains necessarily hold. So I can't go for that. No. Like I'm not sure if that's actually like a good enough feat. Turns Hawkman's wings to lead? That's a feat and a fucking half. Hold on a second. I need to look up some on Google. Aren't Hawkman's wings made of Nth Metal? What are his wings made out of? Are they made of? Is it? Oh wait, hold up. Are his wings? Wait, what the fuck are his wings made out of? Are they not made of Nth Metal? I thought, is the harness made of Nth Metal but not the wings? Let's see. So I looked up on Google Hawkman wings made of to see what would come up. And what came up was does Hawkman have real wings? In the television series Smallville, Hawkman had actual wings that sprouted from his body, and they were strong enough to protect him from a nearby explosion. In the New 52, the Nigerians lost their wings due to a disease spread by the Damonites. After bonding with Nth Metal, Carter Hall's wings grew back. And this is a New 52 feat, my boy. This is New 52 Hawkman. So if that's accurate, that's from CBR, so maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not. But if his wings are made of Nth Metal, as claimed CBR, and Zatanna turned his Nth Metal wings into lead, that is a direct fuck you to like what Nth Metal's supposed to do, which is negate magic. Now, real quick, let me double check. Does Nth Metal negate magic? We gotta verify this. Okay. Magic negation. In recent continuity, users can physically interact with as well as disrupt the presence of ghostly entities, magic creatures, and even break enchantments. So yeah, I was pretty sure nth metal's out here negating magic and shit just as a part of what it says. Now keep in mind this is DC fandom. Whack whack. Well. I agree that's not like a really solid source of anything, like a fandom site. But I read like Justice League Beyond, 2.0 back in the day, and there was this really big deal about nth metal being like immune to magic. Like I feel like I've seen in multiple places nth metal being specifically used to negate magic. So the concept that like Hawkman's wings are made of nth metal, right? And then the idea that nth metal negates magic, and then the idea that Zatanna used magic to turn Hawkman's magic negating wings into lead. That's a feat. That's a really good feat. That's a hella good feat. That's probably one of the best feats that I've seen so far. Because so far, Zatanna's done like a lot of really impressive stuff. But I think at the end of my last video, I said something along the lines of like, yeah, but if you're like immune to magic, it doesn't really matter, right? Like if you can just straight up negate magic, then Zatanna's like powers aren't going to do anything for you. Now, it seems like that doesn't matter. You can literally be made of a material that negates magic. And she can be like, nah, you're actually not that material anymore, you're lead. Ooh. Ooh. Um, in the new 52 Zatanna, so far her feats don't really seem that much better than post-crisis Zatanna, except for all these, well, magic negation doesn't matter like feats. Like these are pretty good. We got to see a guy resist her spell and then her just say, spell be stronger, just make my spell better than it was before. And it's like, ah. So if she, yeah, it's like if she's fighting someone who can negate magic, she can just make her spell stronger to try and push past the negation. If she's facing against someone who has some kind of protective clothing or armor or accessory that's magic proof, she can just say, no, it isn't, and it's just not magic proof anymore. I wonder how Zatanna would do in a fight against like Asta from Black Clover. I don't know a lot about Asta, but I know that Asta has like magic negation kind of bullshit. He has like anti magic. Because Zatanna whoop Asta based on like these new 52 feats? Let me know in the comment section below and on Discord, because like I said, I don't know enough about Asta to really like make a decision on that. Ooh, gotta click over here. Okay, so let's see. Teleports away before it can be get. Oh, sorry, I'm already past that. Where am I at? Opens the ground. Woo. Someone steals her magic and does things like. Okay. So someone stole her magic. What they do? They said, "Set Rocky." Wait, what the fuck does that mean? There's no reason to be rude. Power return to Set Rocky. Wait, hold on. So did he interrupt her? So it seems like, for one, I'm kind of confused. Like, I need more context for this. So apparently her powers were quote unquote stolen, right? But it sounds like she then was going to use her powers to get her powers back. Like, it seems like she was going to try to use her reverse magic to then get her reverse. How does that even work? How do you use your magic to get your magic? So she has her magic stolen. She tries to get it back using her magic. Then he interrupts her. Like she's trying to say for the power to return to her. And then he butts in and then he says, no, return to me. Have the powers come back to me. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of the concept of someone interjecting in the middle of her thing to then edit the effect of the spell, but that sounds kind of cool. And then Zatanna said, Undo L. Interesting. Like, that sounds kind of cool. That's not really a good feat in her favor. But I wonder if that means that if she's fighting another backwards magician, could she interrupt their thing and change what they do? Because that would actually be really cool. Like in a Zatanna versus Zatanna mirror match, is it less about who can cast faster and more about who can like better interrupt the other person to make their spell backfire? If so, that'd be pretty cool. That's good to know. Let's see. Turns people into stone. She did that in Post Crisis. Makes Sasquatches attack. What does that mean? Like, does she summon Sasquatches? Do 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 do. Okay. The quick and dirty. He calls himself Siphon. He's copying my powers. Oh, that guy that they're fighting before. He's a copier. That makes sense. Oh, he makes Sasquatches attack. Does that mean he conjured Sasquatches? Like, are those existing Sasquatches? Or are those, like, new Sasquatches? Like, that he, like, manifested? If so, that's also kind of interesting. Notice how a Sasquatch was able to grab and push Superman. Keep in mind, Superman is capable of getting hit by something and doing, like, a no flinch thing. Like, where he's hit and he, like, doesn't move at all. So having the Sasquatch like crash through the wall and to be able to like push Superman back, like not just like grab Superman and then Superman not move, but for Superman to be forced back. It could be that he's caught by surprise as well, but you have to keep in mind that Superman has like super senses and shit. But then you got to keep in mind that the Sasquatches are like magic or whatever. I don't know. It's fascinating, I guess. But Zatanna could potentially do stuff like this. Like just summon a bunch of like really massive, super strong Sasquatches that can like grab and like restrain Superman. Like see how Superman's like busy now? One of his arms grabbed, his shoulders grabbed. That's the perfect time to pause time. You know, use your time freeze or whatever. But that's cool. Like summons are a nice power for Zatanna to be able to use in her arsenal. Let's see. Fights against Zatanna. Let's see. Ivy with thorns. Become flower petals. Ocean. This bitch can just say ocean? She can say ocean? What does that mean? Because when I look at that, it just looks like he's surrounded by a bunch of water. But is it like an ocean amount of water? You know, that actually sounds really cool if you could hit somebody with a whole ocean. Also, I love the concept of Zatanna fighting someone that has like copied versions of her abilities. Because she already can do so much. So just imagine it with like someone else. Duct tapes her mouth after she puts him into a straitjacket. Okay, whatever. And summons hell. Unleash hell? What? What? You can do that? I didn't know that was one of her powers. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so pop quiz. Where's hell in the DC multiverse? If you answered not in the DC multiverse, then you're right. So hell is within the God realm, God's plane, God sphere. That's what it's called. The God sphere exists outside of the DC multiverse. When you look at the multiverse map, you see like all the universes inside of the bleed, and then you see outside of the entire multiverse itself, the God sphere. I'll pull up an image of the map of the multiverse. I'll do you one better. I'll just go to the map of the multiverse webpage. No, I won't, because it doesn't zoom out far enough. Or I guess, no, this is good. I found a good image. I'm about to just show you the image I found. Hey, see this multiverse map? Okay, so here where all the like 52 universes are within like this sub multiverse inside the greater infinite multiverse. So let's zoom in. I'm glad that they have zoom on here. So here's the multiverse with all the different Earths. And then here's hell. Hell is like outside of the Orrery of Worlds, outside of the bleed, beyond the Speed Force wall in the God Sphere that like surrounds the multiverse. There's only one hell, and it's right here. So when she is like unleashing hell with like her power, she's unleashing like a realm beyond the multiverse onto an adversary. So summon hell or unleash hell is probably better than Sasquatch's attack when it comes to trying to keep someone busy, you know. But to be honest, you probably just want to freeze time. But if you wanted to take someone down by unleashing like the forces of hell on them, you know, you could probably do that. Like this leads to like an interesting like scaling situation, right? So we already know that Zatanna can do like universe level spells. We already know that she can do like time manipulation spells involving like freezing time and BFRing opponents into like other time periods. So it's like universal, temporal, but she's not like beyond time. I mean, being able to move in frozen time feels beyond time. It's like instantaneous movement kind of thing, like incalculable travel speed. So I don't know. What does it take to be beyond time? Tell me in the comment section below. Well, actually, I think I know what it is to be beyond time. To be beyond time would be if someone made like any changes to time, it wouldn't affect you. She's not beyond time in that regard. She can manipulate time, but her time too can be manipulated. So I wouldn't say she's beyond time, but she does have like time manipulation to a certain degree. She's able to affect the universe on a universal scale and can fight opponents who literally become the universe, which is pretty crazy. And she can unleash hell upon her opponents, hell being like a realm within the God sphere beyond the multiverse itself. So it's like a beyond multiversal attack. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. When you attack someone with the cosmology of the verse. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's see. Summons the consciousness of the members of the Justice League Dark to Limbo, which Constantine said was impossible. She had to send them back really quickly, though. Oh, well, then I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. If it's like a false feat where it's like she couldn't normally do it, then it doesn't matter. Shoots lightning at Constantine without backwards magic. So she has lightning in her arsenal that she can just use for free. Who's out here identifying what this is? Whoa, hold up a second. So while I'm out here saying, hey, I don't think this is lightning, this just looks like a magic attack, you need to check this shit out. So she says, oh wait, hold up. These might be Constantine text boxes. Let's see. I wish I knew whose text boxes these were. Because the text box says, arrogance? Maybe. But after weeks of being held prisoner, tortured and abused in unspeakable ways, I was fueled by a rage so deep that I could have torn the entire universe apart. So, yeah, I actually don't know who's saying that. You could see maybe Zatanna who's like lashing out, and she's like angry, so she could be the one who's like fueled with rage or whatever. She might be claiming that she could have torn the whole universe apart. Some people like to use feats like this, like where a character like says something and then you go, it's true, they said it, so it's true. But I'm not too big on that. So maybe she could have torn the universe apart. It sounds consistent with the fact of her being able to use universe level spells and to amp her universe level spells. So sure, like maybe she could have torn the universe apart. I don't know. Let's see, goes into the memories of Alice, don't really care. Shoots more lightning without words. The last shoots lightning feat didn't look like lightning. Oh, well, this definitely looks like lightning. Okay, this is a better lightning feat. This one for sure. Okay. Asa, while possessing, says that Zatanna has so much more potential she can unlock, and then sets Swamp Thing on fire. Interesting. So we see Zatanna possessed by someone, and that person says the raw power this woman commands. I don't think she's tapped into more than a fraction of her full potential. But of course, Zatanna's only been at this for a few years, while I've been in the magic game for a millennia. So if Zatanna, right, is on like a universal scale already in like post crisis, and then this person's like, yeah, you know how Zatanna's like on a universal scale? She's only tapped into like a fraction of her power. I think that implies that Zatanna, if she wasn't already, is like universal plus maybe multiversal if she's only tapped into a fraction of a power, like into like a fraction of her power. So if a fraction of her power is like universe level magic, then her full power would have to be universe plus, if not multiversal. She didn't say half of her magic. If she said, I don't think she's tapped into like half kind of thing, then you could say, well, double at least like two universes kind of thing. But a fraction could be like three-fourths or something. Like it's vague, but it definitely shows that full power Zatanna is probably like a lot stronger than you'd think. So that's cool. That's like a really solid feat. I like that. Uses the Maled- Maledicina paradox, which takes a part of someone's soul and then uses it to resurrect someone. Attempting this has killed hundreds of other magicians. Interesting. So using someone's soul to manifest, well, to bring to life someone else. Okay, so that just didn't work. Yeah, I can't use this feat. Not if, like, the sources don't load. Okay, here we go. We got a loaded source. Let's see. The Maledicina paradox. Taking an infinitesimal fragment of my soul and adding it to yours, and then using that fragment to resurrect me? Souls are like holograms. Each piece contains the whole. Attempting that enchantment has killed dozens, hundreds of magicians. Oh my goodness. So, if you guys watched my post-crisis respect thread video, where I specifically look over Zatanna's post-crisis thread, it says at the top, one known limitation is that she can't bring people back to life. In the New 52, it seems like that one limitation that was set is not a limitation because she can use the Maldacena paradox, which normally just kills you, but it allows her to use part of her soul and part of a dead person's soul to resurrect said dead person. That's pretty good. Restores dead man's mind and body. She's out here being like, bringing people back to life? That's a Tuesday. Let's see, his body's melting like the bloody, like the bloody wicked witch of the West. Let's see, technically he doesn't have a body. That man's pure spirit. Let's see. What we see is simply a mental construction. But if something's broken his mind, mind heal, body reform. Yeah, but she's like reforming his spirit and like healing his mind. The mind heal is pretty cool. But it's more like a spirit restructuring than like an actual like body heal. Let's see. Do. Shown flying and dispels an enchantment. I don't think we've seen Zatanna dispel somebody else's magic. Let's see. Unravel spells enchantment. Dissolve. Okay, yeah, she can just straight up like dissolve someone else's spells. That's cool. So she can like counter spell. Do. So that's dope. What else? Blast on par with the Green Lanterns. That doesn't really sound like a good feat. Yeah, like even though she's in like a beam struggle with a Green Lantern, like if you zoom in over here, that doesn't really mean anything. Green Lantern power output can vary, so unless a Green Lantern says something like, my ring's at full charge and I'm using all my power right now to do a thing, it's really hard to say like how strong it is and to try and scale off of it. So that seems like a non-feat. There's no real way to know. There's not like there's a base level of any Green Lantern blast to where you can confirm that it's at least doing like so much damage. Defines the future and can make protection wards. Interesting. Crystal reveal the future. So she can look into the future? What? What? Oh, wow. Yeah, she is looking into the future. And what's the protection ward thing? Let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'm missing this protection word thing. I need to actually just read it. Something, 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 something. Yeah, okay. You're lucky I exempted you from my protection wards, or I'd be scraping you off the ceiling. My gosh, her protective wards are lethal. But yeah, she straight up is like looking at the future in her crystal ball. So ooh, Zatanna with prep sounds nasty. Nasty radical, my dude. So, okay, think about this. Zatanna death battle, right? Zatanna versus whoever you want. Zatanna, and both people get prep time. Zatanna looks into the future before the fight, like before you can actually like throw hands. Sees what's gonna happen in the fight. Zatanna's like, okay, bet. As soon as possible, freeze time. She could even set up like a recording that plays where even if the opponent tries to speed blitz her, the recording says freeze time or something like that. I mean, gosh, being able to see into the future gives Zatanna so many options, like in a fight. Like, as long as you say that she has prep beforehand, if she can see into the future, she can know what kind of threat she'll be facing, know what would be like the best spell to try and use in order to like counter an opponent. Precog is probably going to be one of her best things. No lie, no lie. Like, her best spells right now, I think, are like freeze time, um, all kinds of BFR. She can send you to another dimension. She can send you to another time period. Um, I'm not sure if she can travel across the multiverse. I'm pretty sure she can travel to other universes, but I'm not sure if we like have determined that fully or not. But she definitely has dimensional BFR and like time-based BFR. Um, and her being able to push through magic negation, which you would assume would be something that would just beat her, but she has feats that say, I don't care if you can negate magic, because I can like overcome magic negation. And now being able to see into the future, plus her spell casting speed is insane. She can cast a spell faster than a speeding bullet. And even if you do start messing her up, if you don't disable her ability to talk, even while she's being attacked, she has feats where while under duress, she like cast additional spells. So, I mean, shit, dude, come on. Like, she's pretty good. Universal scale spells, and she can amp herself. So if she's doing something universal, she can push beyond, make that spell stronger. Come on, my boy. And she can resurrect people using a thing that normally would just kill. Come on. Come on. Think about like her protection ward thing that she mentioned. Like the idea that she has just like passive magic that protects her apartment, that like if you walk in you get splattered on the ceiling or whatever. If she can see into the future, she could potentially like cast a protection ward where the battle will take place, and then your opponent enters the protection ward zone splattered. right? Like, goodness. Precog too good. She can freeze time and she has precog. Even if she didn't have prep, couldn't she like freeze time and then use precog? Like it essentially gives her the equivalent of prep. Plus, she can freeze time and she can travel through time. She can literally just give herself prep. My boy, Baba boy. Yo, another one of her feats, which I kind of slept on earlier, the fact that she can make like decoys or whatever, send a decoy into the fight. Meanwhile, you're somewhere else, uh, precogging it up. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things you could do. You could freeze time, create a decoy, leave, unfreeze time, let the decoy fight for you, do more stuff. She's I don't know. She's out here. She's definitely out here. Don't sleep on Zatanna. How are they gonna balance her for a movie? Let's see. Notice how she talks about the Trinity War. Gosh, this is so long. I don't want to read this whole thing. Why is it such a vague feat? Yeah, something really bad is coming for all of us. Can't you feel it? I tried one of my backward spells, but the images I got were all messed up, hazy. Okay, well, that shows that her precognition isn't perfect. It's not particularly good. There's nothing worth showing. All I've got are vague concepts. Somebody's going to die, is going to trigger a war. I can't see who, I can't see how, but I get superheroes at each other's throats, big players getting involved. I see you in there, arguing with somebody. Batman, maybe? Superman? And I see you shaking hands with Lex Luthor. So she's getting some details, right, from her like precog, but it's not entirely clear. But it seems also like it's fine. Like the stuff that she's learning is pretty solid. Let's see. Do 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 do. Okay, yeah. So, her ability to see into the future isn't perfect, and she's not seeing like super clear images. But it seems like she gets the like spark notes. Like she seems pretty alright. So not perfect precog, but sounds usable. Sounds like usable precog. Escapes Nanda Parbat, even though it could have torn reality apart. What does that mean? Oh, hold on. I think this is one of those you have to go all the way to number 4 in order to see it. Oh no. Is this a situation where every single last one of the links doesn't work? They're all bad. They're all bad. Yep. I can't count your Nanda Parbat feat because I can't see it. That shit's actually invisible. So we're gonna skip that feat. Connects her consciousness with the House of Mystery. Yeah, but to do what? Like, what is that? Why does that matter? Oh, can't use it. Stabilizes a hole in space time. Can't use it because I could just not there. Stops Baker in place. Yeah, but stopping someone in place doesn't matter. You can like freeze time and stuff. It seems so lame compared to freezing time. Let's see. Eats a Green Lantern blast. Let's see this durability feat. Do 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 do. I mean, sure. Yeah, it seems like it was a big area of effect thing that hit a whole bunch of people, including like Firestorm. Um, I don't know how to scale Green Lantern stuff. I'll be honest. Seems too vague. Also, holy shit. Wonder Woman seemed to punch her really hard. Like a, I hit you so hard you flew off your feet and you slammed into the ground punch. So I think she did take like a pretty solid Wonder Woman punch. I mean, Wonder Woman, that being said, right? Oh, she like sucker punched her too. She didn't just hit her. She hit her hard, and Zatanna wasn't expecting it, kind of thing. That's pretty good. Like that actually seems pretty strong. So I don't know if this is like a bloodlusted Wonder Woman that would have like killed Zatanna or what. But I doubt it was a full powered punch. A full powered punch probably would have like splattered Zatanna on the pavement. I think this is a controlled hit where Wonder Woman knows that like she's not gonna like kill Zatanna with the attack. Again, I don't know how to scale this feat. I don't think it's like surviving a full Wonder Woman punch. Oh fuck. The hell is this? This is one of those like weird death battle feats where like if this was like death battle, they'd be like Zatanna's known height is 5 foot, da 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 da. Comparing her height to the size of the monster's forearm, that monster likely has a forearm that is about like this big. Estimated based on the monster's seemingly soil-like composition, that monster's punch must have been the equivalent of being hit by like so many tons of TNT. Like it'd be some stupid shit like that. Um, that seemed like a pretty hard hit. She's definitely getting hit hella fucking hard. It's not even a situation where it's like, well, I don't know how to scale against Green Lantern because it could vary, or Wonder Woman could be holding back. She probably didn't like full power punch. That nigga doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck. He probably did full power punch her with his big ass monster arm. I just don't know how strong he is, but I assume he's pretty strong. do, 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 do. So she can take a hit from like a big monster thing, which is vague. Not all big monster things are, equal. They say picks up Constantine with one hand, but that's kind of weird to say. If someone grabs your throat and lifts up forcefully, they just have your throat, nigga. You're not gonna not stand up. I don't count that. Oh, and throws him? Wait, hold up. Oh. Bullshit. I don't know if that's a throw. You better calm down, claiming that she hurled this man straight through a door and into a wall. Could have been a spell. Assuming it might have been a spell. I don't know if she could throw that hard. That would be a pretty strong thing. You can't throw me out my own place. That doesn't mean that she literally threw him, though. Yeah, I don't know. I can't assume that she did that throw. Miscellaneous. Zatanna has taken the House of Mysteries from Constantine. I mean, isn't that what we just saw? Knows dozens of meditation techniques. What does that mean? Like to know dozens of meditation techniques. Let's see. My father must have taught me a dozen different meditations since I was 6. Okay. The universe, he used to say, moves from the mind out. Our dreams and aspirations, our hopes and fears are made manifest all around us. That's kind of a cool quote. But those are all of Zatanna's like miscellaneous feats. Um, Dang, like top 5. Let's go over like her top 5 feats for like post crisis and New 52. I would say freezing time is definitely up there. Being able to cast a spell faster than like a machine gun fire. That's pretty good. That shows that she can like cast insanely quickly. Being able to do time based like travel and BFR. Being able to push past magic negation. That's really impressive. And being able to amp her own spells. I think those are like some of her like best abilities. If I had to give an honorary mention, I would also add like precog as like an honorary mention. But I think those are her 5 best powers: freezing time, sending people through time, casting faster than machine gun fire, amping her magic, and being able to push past magic negation. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you guys agree or disagree with that top 5 list? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord. And thank you all for tuning in. If you guys like AI Dungeon 2 videos, make sure you smash that subscribe button because I do AI Dungeon 2 videos every day, and occasionally I dip my toe into different topics like this. I'm a big fan of superheroes and superhero comics, so you know me, my dude, I gotta do these sometimes. Anyways, thank you all for watching. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet like the one only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicken a bow.